If you wish to break off our understanding, I'll accept your decision. After all, it's never been announced. We may dissolve it with the minimum of discomfort.
So as we know, Downton Abbey 3 is officially on the way, set to drop in 2025, and it's bringing back a star-studded cast with loads of familiar faces. Hugh Bonneville, Elizabeth McGovern, Michelle Dockery, Phyllis Logan, Robert James Collier, Joanne Froggatt, Penelope Wilton, Leslie Nichol, and even Paul Giamatti and Dominic West are returning. Bonneville teased that this installment will be the best iteration of the film versions yet. He joked that it'll have all the classic Downton drama, saying, "It's got the usual tropes, if you like, of thrills and spills in a very Downton way, which means spilling a teacup pretty much." Filming's all wrapped up now, and here's everything you need to know about Downton Abbey 3. Let's dive into what we know about the release date for Downton Abbey 3. The film is set to hit theaters in the UK and US on September 12, 2025. We had a 3-year wait between the first two movies, partly due to COVID messing with filming schedules, and it looks like we're in for a similar wait this time around. The last movie, Downton Abbey: A New Era, came out in 2022, so the timeline is pretty consistent. Filming for the new installment took place from May to August 2024, so unless they decide to do some last-minute reshoots, everything seems on track for that September 2025 release. Now, let's talk about the cast. We've got a lot of familiar faces returning for Downton Abbey 3. Hugh Bonneville, Elizabeth McGovern, Michelle Dockery, Phyllis Logan, Robert James Collier, Joanne Froggatt, Penelope Wilton, and Leslie Nichol are back at it. Even Paul Giamatti and Dominic West are reprising their roles. Dockery shared her excitement in the announcement video back in May 2024, saying, "It feels amazing, a tad emotional. It's wonderful to all be back together again. You come back together and it's like no time has passed at all. We're so happy to announce that we're in production for the third Downton Abbey movie. We can't wait to see you." The returning crew also includes Laura Carmichael, Jim Carter, Alan Leach, Michael Fox, Raquel Cassidy, Brendan Coyle, Kevin Doyle, Harry Hayden Patton, Sophie McShera, and Douglas Reith. But wait, there are some fresh faces joining the party too. Newcomers like Jolie Richardson, Alessandro Nivola, Simon Russell Beale, and Artie Frushan will add some spice to the mix. Now, speaking of returnees, we haven't seen any confirmation for Imelda Staunton yet, even though she previously hinted that she'd be back. Considering her earlier comments, it's likely she'll return, but the Dowager Countess's fate might complicate things. Maggie Smith sadly passed away in September 2024, and it's uncertain if she filmed any scenes for the new movie. As for Penelope Wilton, we're still waiting on confirmation for her return as Isabel Grey, even though she expressed her enthusiasm in earlier interviews. Matthew Goode was absent from the last movie due to scheduling conflicts, and we might see some unresolved tension between Henry and Mary as a plot point in this new installment, if they can work things out with his schedule. And let's not forget about Robert James Collier as Thomas Barrow. He accepted an offer to head to America with Dominic West's Guy Dexter at the end of A New Era, so we might see him back too. It seems unlikely we'll see Natalie Bay or Jonathan Zakai, since their stories wrapped up nicely with the Villa transfer to the Crawleys. Now let's chat about the plot for Downton Abbey 3. How does Downton Abbey: A New Era set things up for the sequel? Well, to be honest, it doesn't lay down any major groundwork. The Crawleys are still around, and time keeps moving forward, which leaves us with a lot of possibilities. Given what creator Julian Fellowes tends to explore, we might see the Crawley family grappling with modernization as World War II creeps closer. While it might feel like a rerun of the TV show's take on World War I, the impact of World War II was much more immediate. It could be fascinating to watch how the family navigates the looming threat of danger to their loved ones and their home. That sort of high-stakes drama is what Downton fans crave. The show's strength has always been its focus on the characters' interpersonal dynamics. Hello, drama! So, it wouldn't be surprising if a central plot point revolves around Mary and Henry facing challenges in their marriage. After all, when things get tough, it's the relationships that really take center stage. One of the reasons Downton Abbey is so beloved is its knack for weaving in historical events. From the Titanic disaster to the effects of World War I, the show has always had a way of making history feel personal. Now that the franchise moves into the 1930s, it's bound to tackle more significant events, especially the Great Depression. The last movie wrapped up in 1929, right on the cusp of the Depression. So, Downton Abbey 3 will need to address this tragic period. This opens the door for a more historically accurate portrayal than we've seen before. Of course, the filmmakers might take some creative liberties regarding how the Great Depression impacts a family like the Crawleys, but historically, they have always kept things pretty on point. In fact, the movies have been hinting at the Great Depression since the first film. Lady Mary Crawley in particular has expressed concerns about whether their grand estate can survive in a changing world. But the reality of this economic crisis will likely hit harder than they anticipated. It's one thing to worry about being seen as outdated, but dealing with a financial disaster is a whole different ballgame. The Great Depression could significantly impact the wealth of the Crawleys, potentially leaving them not as rich as they once were. The first Downton Abbey movie, released in 2019, hinted at the social changes the family might face, and now, with the Depression looming, those changes will likely be more pronounced. This economic downturn sparked a substantial financial crisis, not only in the US, but also in the UK. Given that the Crawley estate is in England, and they even have family connections across the pond, it's clear that the effects will reverberate through every character's life. With their wealth potentially dwindling, the Crawleys may have to bid farewell to their luxurious clothing, fine dining, and extravagant events, something many wealthy families had to do during the Great Depression. While the Crawleys are fictional, their story is loosely based on real-life families who faced similar challenges, making it all the more relatable. But it's not just the Crawleys who are at risk, their devoted staff is also in jeopardy. The beloved characters who have served them throughout the series could find themselves without jobs if the Crawleys can no longer afford to maintain their lavish lifestyle. In a financial crisis, securing employment is tough, especially as other families might struggle just to make ends meet and might not be able to hire help. The saddest aspect of this potential loss of wealth for the Crawleys is that their staff may not survive the financial fallout. While the Crawleys might find a way to get by without their staff and the luxurious lifestyle they've grown accustomed to, the fate of their employees is far less certain. Characters like Anna, Bates, and Daisy are not just part of the household, they become integral to the heart of Downton Abbey. Without their jobs, their survival could be at stake, leading to a poignant exploration of class and loyalty in this new era of uncertainty. In Downton Abbey 3, we may witness the Crawleys navigating this treacherous landscape while trying to hold on to their way of life and the emotional toll it takes on both the family and their loyal staff. It's a narrative that promises to delve deep into the heart of their world, capturing the essence of resilience amidst hardship. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below. What do you think will be the biggest challenge for the Crawleys in Downton Abbey 3 as they face the impact of the Great Depression? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay in the loop. And if you want, you can share your thoughts about this video in the comments.